Hello, welcome everybody to how to quickly bring in new auto service customers with a revolutionary new web tool. My name is Jody Underhill. I'm actually the director of Profit Funnel Experts. Glad to see so many of you able to join us here on this afternoon to go through the training. It's going to be my job to make sure that I do my best to make this time well worth your while. And this is a training. I don't have any services to sell you or anything. I'm going to go through and show you some of the things that you can actually do to start implementing in your auto repair business or auto service business right away. And it doesn't matter if it's auto glass, if it's auto repair, if it's a transmission shop, if it's window tinting, if it's a new car dealer, anything that has to do with automotive is going to fit for what we're going to be talking about today. So with that, as we get started, let me go ahead and open up the question box in case anybody types anything in there, which I will be asking you to in just a little bit. And if you look over on the right-hand side of your computer screen, there should be the GoToWebinar control panel. And right underneath where it has the details, there should be a little gray box that says questions. If you could, and if somebody would, go ahead and put a 1 or a yes in there. Just let me know that you can see my screen, that you can hear me, so we can go ahead and get things rolling. Let's see, not everybody at once. Somebody put that in there for me. I see a couple of people that sent me emails that they were having trouble getting on, but I see Audrey's on here. We got people from, see, Bozeman, from Tucson. Let's see where else from, all over the place. Bay City. Cool. So it shows that my screen is showing and it shows that it is recording. And thank you, Preferred, for putting that in there. We also have some of the other ones here. We've got Watson's, we got Greenleaf, yeah, I'm sorry, Greenway, we got Right Way Auto, got Divine Auto, cool. We've got a lot of people from all over the country. Hey, and there's Audrey. Let's see, it looks like from Saskatoon. I actually been to Saskatoon. That's pretty cool. I actually have a friend that lives in Saskatoon. All right, so with that, here's what's going to be covered on today's training. On today's training, we're going to look at how to take control of your marketing and set up an online sales machine to bring in new customers like clockwork. May sound too good to be true. And one of the things, I've worked with a lot of automotive businesses, and the thing is that you depend on new leads coming in. New people calling, new people coming in, and that's one of the things we're going to look at. Now, there are some who say, I've got all the business I can handle. If that's the case, then you can go ahead and click out of the webinar, because what this is about is bringing in more business, bringing in new business. And we're also going to talk about bringing in those existing customers that have already been to you more often. We're also going to look at why the number one thing your shop needs probably doesn't work that well right now. We're going to look at the most important thing you need to know about your website visitors. And it doesn't matter, like I said, what type of automotive business you have, website visitors all have the same mentality. Also, how to grab the attention of website visitors and build trust in the process. And that's really important whenever it comes to auto repair, because one of the things that people either love you or hate you, right? You either get 5-star reviews or 1-star reviews. So it's very important. The first information they see and the first thing they see about your business is starting to build that level of trust. And we're going to show you how to not only get their attention, but also how to build trust and how to create offers that convert visitors into booked service appointments. So here's how we're going to do this. You need to make sure that you get a pad of paper and a pen or a pencil so that you can take notes, because I'm going to give you some actionable items that you'll be able to start utilizing right away. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your web presence and automation, because the thing is about that new revolutionary new web tool, it's about a web presence. That is where we're going to be looking. Then we're going to look at traffic, how to get more traffic to your web presence and how to automate that aspect of it. And we're going to be looking at your reputation. As we've already mentioned, it's crucial whenever it comes to auto services and auto repair. And then we're going to look at social. Whether like it or not, love it or hate it, social is a key element whenever it comes to people basically interacting with us, no matter what the business is. So have you ever wondered what it is that the mega successful auto service businesses know that you don't? Now, sometimes I say that others don't, but in this case, it may be that you do or don't know these things. I'm not going to prejudge, but as we go into here, here's a quick story. Once upon a time, there were two auto service professionals. And what they did, when you looked at it, they both graduated from the same certification programs. They both were better than average students, better than average mechanics. They both worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and they both recently attended an industry event. And when they did, they were still very much like each other. They were both happily married. They both had 3 children, and they both owned and operated their own business. But that's where the differences, that's where the similarities rather stopped and the difference started. So one was running a small shop, struggling to bring in enough cash flow to keep themselves and their staff busy, and the other was growing in leaps and bounds, enjoying a steady stream of new affluent customers every single day. So what happened? What makes the difference? What makes the difference of the one that has everything that stays booked up and the one that doesn't have enough business to keep going? Well, they both had the same certifications, they both had great locations, and they both put in the same hours, and they both had the same ambition. So when it comes to the difference, it's not about time, money, or skill. What is it about? It's about information. Having a certain amount of information or a certain bit of information that can make the difference in making it or not making it, staying busy or basically barely being able to scrape by. And the information I'm about to share with you has never been revealed publicly before for the automotive sector. And I know that because I'm the one who has the information. But when it comes to the road to success, it leaves clues. And there's certain steps that you can take along that road to success to make it so that it's going to work for you no matter what. Because this roadmap, or this road, it's like a roadmap. If we both have the same map and we start at the same location, it has to get us to where we're going, right? As long as it's the same map. The problem is sometimes having trouble being able to identify where we need to start. That can, if we don't know where we're at and we don't know how to get to where we're going, it can be very confusing. So here's the thing. The only thing you should entrust your business growth to is one thing, and that's a bulletproof system. So, why am I on here doing this? Why am I sharing this information with you? Who am I actually? Well, I said, I gave you my name. It's Jody Underhill. You can look me up. I've worked with some of the largest names in the world whenever it comes to digital marketing. But that's not where I got my start. I got my start working for a power company in Florida for about the first 20 years of my working career. And I got tired of doing that, so I started doing marketing for local business. And when I did it, I got noticed very quickly because I was very successful with it and was one of the top users of several software systems and became spokesperson for those different software systems because they worked. Not for businesses like yours, but for agencies and helping agencies understand how to use the systems. And then I actually became the president for a short time of one of the largest digital marketing companies in the world. But I had an empty hole in my heart because I wasn't having fun anymore. I was basically back to being in corporate America like I was when I worked for the power company. So I took a step away from a nearly 7-figure salary to start once again working with local businesses. And when I mean local, I'm not saying small, right? I'm not saying small business, local. Because when you get your car repaired or you're buying a car, you typically don't travel, 500 miles to go do it. Well, in my case, I traveled about an hour and a half to go buy a vehicle because I bought a Ford Raptor and they didn't happen to have them in my area about 2 years ago. So I did make a little bit of a drive, but most people, it's typically within a 15 to 20 minute radius or 15 to 20 mile radius of your shop, right? They usually don't go more than that. So that's what we're looking at. So what's the most important thing that a business needs to start capturing more business online? So Tegan, what do you think that is? Well, usually I would have people type it in, but I get answers like social media, emails, those types of things. But really what it comes down to is it's having a high converting website or landing page. Well, Jody, we have a website, right? But is it high converting? And the thing is that even if you have something that's been done very recently, it may not be working for you as well as it could. And the reason is because online marketing has changed more in the last 18 months than in the last several years. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when there wasn't an internet, right? Whenever businesses just started getting websites. Well, now it's not just about having a website. It's about having one that's optimized for conversion that's going to allow people to engage and interact with you. And as we go through here, again, this isn't about having a mobile website. I get it today. Everybody's website is mobile optimized. Okay, is it optimized or is it friendly? There's a difference, and I'm going to share with you what those are. So what's changed? Well, it's the smartphone. That's what's changed about the way we consume information, but it's not just about a mobile website. This is about completely changing how we engage and interact with information and how people are engaging, interacting with information on your site. But 57% of US online traffic now comes from mobile devices. Now, I know we have Audrey on here from Saskatoon, and it's funny, I was actually in Saskatoon talking with a painting company, and he told me that Canadians don't use Facebook as much as Americans, so it doesn't work the same. And I went through and found a study to show him that Canadians actually use Facebook more than Americans, right? So when it says US online traffic, it doesn't matter if you're in Australia, in the UK, in Canada, in the US, it's basically the same, right? Also, 88% of consumers who search for a type of business on a mobile device call or go to that business within 24 hours. Why? Because it's event driven. We are purchase driven consumers. We're looking for one of three pieces of information, right? Phone number, address, hours of operation, because we don't want to take the time to drive there and and take a chance on it not being open. And we need to be able to find the phone number very easily to be able to call and tell you what our problem is. The other thing is nearly 8 in 10 customers would stop engaging with content that doesn't display well on their device. And display well has changed. Our view of what displays well has changed. Because I guarantee you, all of your sites look pretty when you look at it on a mobile device. Very few of you probably have anything that you have to pinch and zoom anymore in order to get that information. What we're talking about is the way that we interact has changed, because almost 6% of users are on mobile, where scrolling is more convenient with a thumb. Clicking is not anymore. Scrolling is more intuitive because of social media sites like Facebook and e-commerce stores like Amazon. So we scroll up and down, right? We navigate everything with our thumbs. And if you have to click a lot of times, people will abandon the site. They'll go somewhere else. So this is why the number one thing a business needs doesn't work anymore. And that's because the very definition of a website is a group of pages that usually contain hyperlinks to each other that are devoted to a single topic on several closely related topics, blah, 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 boring. And the thing is that your website, most websites today, are just like big fancy brochures that aren't designed to do anything except sit there and be read. That's not what we want them to do. We know what happens to most brochures, right? They go right into the trash can. And it's so critical that your site is optimized for conversion, because this is where all of the elements that have led someone to you culminate with them choosing to do business with you. But right now, most businesses, especially in the automotive industry, the website is like a bucket with a bunch of holes shot in it. All of the things that you're doing, all the things that are on the screen right here to try to get people to that website to look at it, wind up being a waste of time, money, and energy, because you lose most of the people that come there. That's because sending a prospect to a website is like taking a hungry person and dropping them in the middle of Walmart. It's very confusing usually. They may make their way over to the food section, or they may get distracted by other sections of the store. Those other sections on your website are all those buttons and tabs and places all over the place that they can click to leave the page. And when they leave, it's basically like them walking out empty-handed. Because here's the interesting thing about the automotive industry, whether it's no matter what aspect of it is. Some facts about it is the best websites in your industry are only getting about a 3% of their website visitors to contact them or buy. It's pretty dismal. That means 97% rather of your website visitors are leaving without converting, and they have no intention of returning. You have to capture their attention, and not only capture it, but build trust in the process. So here's the thing. I know that's a website about a vet. What I'm going to be showing you, it doesn't matter if it's automotive repair, if it's medical, doesn't matter, because human nature is the same. So the concepts I'm showing you, because some of you have more than one business. The cool thing is what I'm showing you can work no matter what the business is, because we don't want visitors to just read. We want them to take action and convert into customers. So here's the number one thing. I told you I was going to share these things. The number one thing you need to know about your website visitor, but we all remember 3 TV stations and 2-minute commercials, right? ABC, NBC, CBS, and you had to sit through the commercial. Well, today with social and cell phones, our attention is everywhere, which means it's nowhere. In the year 2000, you had 12 seconds to capture someone's attention. Why is the goldfish there? Well, because today you have about 8 seconds to capture their attention before they bounce and go somewhere else. And that's 1 second less than a goldfish's attention span. So it basically has to be something that really gets them. So how do you break through in less than 8 seconds? Well, we used to hear that content was king. You have to have good content on your website in order for it to engage people in it and be able for them to consume the information so that they can. No. Content versus design. Design is going to win out today every time. That's because our brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than reading text. Pictures are definitely worth 1,000 words, and videos are worth even more. That's why you'll notice there's imagery on every one of these slides that we're looking at as we continue to go through here. So when you look at it, trust and value are why we buy. Good design builds trust. I promise you probably don't have, you don't have a building that needs to be painted. You don't have a sign hanging half crooked off of the signpost out in front of your business. I was working with somebody here a while back, and they said they wanted to attract more women into their shop. I said, well, you got to get rid of those grease-stained couches, right? You have to put a coffee machine in. You got to have those things that's going to attract who it is that you're looking for. The design makes the difference. And good design is part of your reputation. How do we know that? Because both online and offline, you have to look at the fact of, does your brand inspire trust? Your brand is a story that your market believes about the products, the expertise, and the value that you offer. There's two ways of doing it. Look, you have a digital footprint and you have a digital shadow. Your digital footprint is just like your footprints when you walk on the beach. You control where your footprint's going, but your shadow is based on where the sun is shining. So your digital footprint is what you put about yourself online. Your digital shadow is what other people are saying. So you better make the strongest and best footprint in place. Look, this is where most businesses start. They want to put everything they can out there as much as possible, so as you don't know what's going to be important, what people are going to want to get and engage with. What they want is this: everything nice and neat and portraying excellence. Right? Most businesses start here with a website, but what they really want is something that's very concise, very clean, and getting people to take action. So here's the deal. Again, we don't want visitors to just read. We want them to take action, and we want to convert them into customers. Like this one, it says, don't suffer auto care stress. Instead, bring your car or truck to us, schedule a service appointment. I'm not even saying that's the strongest call to action, because that's what you want to have happen. What do they want to have happen? You want them to schedule an appointment, but what do they want? We're going to talk about that as we go. So there's 4 actions we want them to take. This is what we have to look at first, and we have to limit the availability of what they can do. The first thing is a click. Nothing happens until somebody clicks on something. And when they click, they can subscribe or opt in, because the thing is, if they give us their information, we know we'll contact them. We don't always know if they're going to pick up the phone or if they're going to contact us. But once we have their information, we can contact them. The next is a call. You have to make it very easy, very simple for them to be able to call. And finally, order. And yes, you can get people to go ahead and place an order, even for repair services. No matter what it is, you can get them to go ahead and pay for something while they're on the site. What are the chances of them not making the service appointment whenever they've already paid? Very, very slim. That's what we want them to do. But here's what they want. There's 5 questions that every website visitor asks before they contact you. And you better have these answered on your site. The first is, will this solve my problem? And in looking at it, they're coming for an answer. They want to know that they're not going to bring it there and going to have to take it somewhere else. The next is, do I have to decide now? Look, no urgency means no incentive. I mean, and so the thing is you have to make it so they have to contact you, and they won't do it unless you offer them something they need to take advantage of immediately. Offering them a free estimate or a custom analysis typically isn't always going to be the thing. You have to offer them something that seems almost too good to be true, and they have to do it now. Am I getting the best? How do they know if they're getting the best? How do we make decisions today on where we go for service? We do it based on what other people are saying. So having testimonials and having reviews for them to see are very key. And it's not just on your site, it's in numerous places. We're going to talk about all those as we go as well. Next, am I going to regret this? Look, if we don't know anything about a vehicle, our biggest fear is we're going to take it somewhere and we're going to pay a lot of money to have it fixed, and it's not going to take care of the problem. What's the best way to overcome that? It's with what other people are saying about your business. And then, am I paying a good price? And by offering them a way to be able to do that is key. So when you look at all of those things, what's the number 1 tool a business has to get conversions online? It's not what you think. I'm not even going to ask you to answer that, because I'm going to tell you in just a minute. And the number 2 tool a business uses to get conversions, right? So the number 1 is your story. And that's what most businesses today miss. All they tell about is their services and what they can do. They don't tell their story. And the thing is, if people knew who you were and knew your heart and knew what you were going to promise to them, they would do business with you quicker than what's happening now. And the number two tool is being able to test what your offer is against other offers. Right now, how do you tell your story with a beginning, middle, and end with a 10-page plus website? You don't. Number four is how do you split test a 10-page website? How do you compare one offer against the other? It's basically impossible to do. So the two most important things you need to do to get web pages to convert better isn't possible right now. That's why we suggest using what we call a brand site website funnel. Again, I'm not trying to sell you this. I'm telling you about it so that you can see how it works. A funnel is designed to move the visitor into the sales process. It tells the story with a beginning, middle, and end that helps them choose to make a decision to choose you. So like I said, your brand is a story that your market believes. Visitors are looking for products or service. They get to the brand site and they see your story, not just the fancy brochure. You share why you're different and they get an understanding of why you're different. Remember, we're grabbing their attention and we're building trust in the process. We're going to tell them our products or services, then we're going to share our reputation, and then we're going to explain and display our value of what it is. So what if instead of building a multiple page website, you were able to build a single page funnel that was designed to convert visitors? This is one aspect of what we're talking about today. So if you look at a funnel versus a website, a funnel is one page. A website is multiple pages. Your story is clear with a funnel. Your story is confusing on a website. With a funnel, you have user-friendly scrolling navigation because you're only scrolling up and down. It's only one page. A website is hard to navigate, lots of clicking, which is very hard to do on a mobile device. A funnel funnels them to take action because why? It's a funnel. Website, there's no real clear action steps. Funnel, you're able to do split testing because you can click a button and create an A/B split test and just change one or two aspects of the page to see which converts better. There's really not much of an ability to split test with a website. A funnel, there's 6 to 10 calls to action. A website, almost no call to action other than call us or schedule an appointment. A funnel is mobile friendly. A website typically is not. You can track conversion with the funnels. You can make your irresistible offer, and you basically can't. So what does this all look like, the thing that I'm talking about? Well, we created something called a story block. It's a block of content that's critical to telling your story. It doesn't look like a block here, and I know it's an AC repair shop, doesn't matter. It works the same no matter what it is. When I put the green lines around it, this is what we're talking about story blocks. Every block has its own thing that it needs to do, and it transfers over to a mobile device very easily. So tell your story with images, text, color, and design in a story block that looks like this. Very easy for them to make the decision. How do you tell your story? It's easier to show you. An average looking website looks like this on a computer. A lot of words. And most web content was never built for mobile viewing. This is what it looks like. 60% of website visitors see something that looks like a tax audit whenever they view a website on a mobile device. So if you look at website content, how would it be better to differentiate your brand? The one on the left or the one on the right? Right? Which one will keep them more engaged and tell your story? Number one or number two? Right? Without fail, it's going to be number two because people don't want to read a bunch of stuff on their phone. So when you look at it, you differentiate your brand. It's a 21 story block formula, and each block has the ability to do that. Now I'm going to show you each one of the blocks. I'm not hiding it or keeping it a secret. Like I said, I'm showing you how this whole thing works. So you have the brand site. It's to get them to opt in. You send them a thank you, and you put them into an email campaign. That's how a typical funnel is designed to operate, but we want to accelerate that and expedite that whole thing happening. So let's take a look at what a brand site website funnel looks like for a business. Now again, I get it. It's landscaping. It's not auto repair, but I'm going to show you each one of the blocks here. The first, you have an attention-getting headline, attention-getting image, attention-getting offer. What is the offer that you're going to make to them? And with an attention-getting button. All of those pieces, that's the first four things in the first one, all four elements in one story block. And then your promise. What is your promise to them? This is key, especially whenever it comes to something that we feel uncomfortable with, like auto service. So when you look at this, as we go through these pages, ask yourself how what you have stacks up. Then we look at the fact that you have the detail of your services offered with imagery, clear call to action with a button that makes it easy for them to engage, and then client reviews with pictures of the clients. But wait a minute, how do we get pictures of the clients? We get someone to leave us a testimonial. We can't just put their picture on a site. Yeah, you can. If they leave a review on Google and they have an image on there, you're able to use that. It's public domain. If they leave a review on Facebook and they have a Facebook profile and their image shows up there, you can use that image and put it on your site. It gives you the ability to do that. And also you want to put the trust symbols there as well. And then you want to, the other pieces are another clear call to action. Everywhere you move down the page, you want to have the ability for them to engage with you. You want to have the ability for them to click to contact you, to click to put their information in, to get access to your special offer. You don't want them to have to scroll. Let's say they're going down the page and they get the point. You know what? I like this. I'm absolutely going to do business with Autoscope. And then they have to scroll around to find it, or do business with Doug's or Bozeman or Gus. And whenever that happens and they click, they leave. You want to make it so that you don't have to scroll to click. And you want to use action-based imagery all the way through. Remember, design is the key to branding. Then photos of your team members. Make them feel comfortable when they come in the door that they've seen someone at the front desk that has also, after they've been to your website. Get those real, and then additional client testimonials. If you have a video review, put that in there. And another clear call to action. Remember, anywhere they're on the page, you want it to make it easy for them to do that. Easy to read FAQs. When it comes to auto repair, we all have the same questions, right? Things like, is it okay to drive my car when the check engine light is on? Yeah, of course. When is it not okay to drive your car? When the check engine light is flashing. How often should I change the oil in my car? Well, it depends on the manufacturer's recommendation, but there are some guidelines. If my brakes are making noise, do I need to have them changed? Like, if you don't have it written down what your frequently asked questions are, then you can Google frequently asked questions for auto repair, and there's a whole list of them. Then your location block. Let them know where you are. Don't make them have to go to Google Maps in order to find your information. Because the purchase-driven consumer, like I said, is looking for 3 pieces of information: the phone number, the address, and the hours of operation. And then finally, a final call to action. That's it. That's all there is to a brand site funnel. But it takes there's 21 blocks in that whole deal. So when you're looking at it from that standpoint, that's on your web presence and automation. The next thing you have to look at is traffic. And I'm not going to start to go into every aspect of all the different traffic. I'm going to give you one tip here, one thing that you need to look at, one thing that you need to be aware of, because we could spend all day talking about traffic, but I'm going to give you something you can go do right now and start doing for your business. And that is, visibility is about making sure your customers can find you, but also about making sure that Google can find you. And this isn't about your website. This is another thing that we're going to talk about. It's making sure you're listed where you need to be, right? Every local business should be listed in at least 40 to 50 directories. Well, who's going to go to Circle or Insider Pages or local.com to look for me? Well, maybe nobody. But the important thing is that Google does. And they look at the relevancy of your business based on how many directories you're in, how many citations you have, and how many reviews you have. So in looking at it, the next step is you have to make sure those listings are accurate. Your name, address, and phone number are exactly the same in each one of them. If you don't take anything else away from what we're talking about, but this piece, it can make a difference in your business being found. Because if your business is, like we have Audrey's Auto Repair, and it's limited because it's in Canada instead of LLC because of the US, and you put LTD in one place and limited in the other, or you're in at 123 Maple Street and you put ST in one, the address, and STREET in the other, Google looks at it as being different. So you have to look at the fact that if they're different everywhere you go, Google doesn't count it. It doesn't matter if it's an apostrophe or a period or one number different, it looks at not being the same business, so that doesn't give you credit. So if you ever looked at why your information shows up below someone who has less reviews or worse reviews than you, that could be the reason. It drives customers crazy, but it also drives Google crazy because they crawl those listings with spiders. Look, I get it. If a human looks at it and sees ST for street instead of STREET, we know the difference. But the spiders look at it in binary code, which are ones and zeros, and if they don't line up, they don't give you credit. Accurate listings makes customers happy and Google happy. And the more consistent they are, the higher up in Google you're going to appear. Now, nobody set out to make them different. Nobody set out to make a mistake on the listings. You just happen to probably go out there and do them at different times. That's why they wind up being a mess. Then we look at reputation. With reputation, search results on Google basically are like there's a mall where every store sells the same thing. Everybody looks exactly the same. The only thing that differentiates is what people are saying. Here's what people look for when they look for reviews. The first is your star rating. Well, I've got all 5-star reviews, or I've got 4.7 stars. That's great. That's one tick mark. That's one check mark for you. The next thing they look at is the number of reviews. Are you going to go somewhere with 10 reviews with 3.8 star rating or 178 reviews with 4.9 stars? Then they look at how many different sites do you have reviews on. And Google looks at this as well. As a matter of fact, if you go look at your Google map listing, and you put your name of your business in with the city you're in, and it pulls up your map listing, more than likely it's going to show the reviews from Yelp and from Facebook or whatever, or anywhere else that you have reviews. They can even pull in from yp.com. Then they're going to look at how do you respond to negative reviews. Negative reviews are never fair, typically, right? Every now and then they're justified, but especially, I mean, come on, they come in, they bring their car in, you fix one thing and something completely unrelated happens. They come in because they do an oil change and the next day their air conditioner quits working. Well, that's obviously your fault, right? You did something when you changed the oil to make the air conditioner quit working. Or whenever they come in, you replace the tire, or they put new tires on and the windshield wiper quits. It's your fault. They're not. So what you do though is the way you handle them is first you say you're sorry. You're not sorry that you did it or you made a mistake. You're sorry that that's how they feel about the service they received. Obviously, you look and see that other people are saying great things about our business. That's leaving some marketing. And finally, take it offline. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. Please give me a call at this number so that we can discuss this and see what we can do to fix the situation. So why is reputation important? Because if you do have the negative reviews or missing reviews online, if you're doing any paid advertising, it could actually be working for your competitors. So they go through a search, they find your information, then they bounce back and they look to see what people are saying. And if they see someone with better reviews, they could possibly go there. And now Google basically using auto suggest is telling them whenever if they put your business name in, one of the auto suggest tabs that come up is your business name and the word reviews. So you can stack the deck in your favor with that by simply putting videos out there that have your business name and the word reviews in it so that they will come up on the first page of the search engines. That's another writer downer. And they're very easy to do. Sorry, it's a weather notification. They're very easy to do. And you can basically just do a slide with a copy of the review and do a quick video and stick that on there and they will show up. Next is social. And when you look at social from this standpoint, is there over 2 billion people online now. 93% of customers expect companies they buy from or do business with to have a social media presence, and 85% of them expect the companies to interact with them on social media. That's whenever they go to your Facebook page and it opens up and it says typically responds in what? 2 days, 1 day, 1 hour, almost immediately. They're telling them how long it's going to take you to respond. So go to your Facebook page, and open it up and it will pop up there. So how long does it say? And Facebook actually prompts you to whenever you get something, they'll send you an email saying, hey, such and such left a message. You might want to respond to improve your response rate. So social media gives you the ability to connect with nearby customers and make a purchase. There's a viral strategy that's sitting right under local business owners' noses that they don't typically realize yet. And I'm going to share this with you. And it's something that's very simple to do. You could do it today. I mean, this is so simple. You could go right now, as soon as we get done with this here in just a little bit, you could go right now to your Facebook page and do this thing and get more engagement. Because what percent, this is what I want you to engage with me here. What percent of people that like your page do you think see your post when you post on Facebook? Go ahead and put that in there. Just let me know what you think. What percentage of the people that like your page actually see a post when you post it? Right? Blue Text says 20%. Nope. Rightway says 12%. Nope. All right, Divine's pretty close. He put 8%. It's 3 to 5%. So if you have 100 people that like your page, when you make a post, 3 to 5 of them see it. How would you like to know a strategy where if you make a post, all the people that like your page, that post will show up in their newsfeed? Put a 1 in the box if you would like to know. I'm kidding. Don't have to put a 1. I know everybody wants to know. It's real simple. Here's a viral strategy that will work for you. Change your cover image. That's right, that cover photo, you can change it. Every time you change it, it will show up in the newsfeed of every person who likes your page. If they make a comment or engage with it, then it will show up in the newsfeed of every person that they're friends with. Why is that important? Because almost every person on Facebook, and on average, has around 200 friends. And there's a reason to change your cover image every month, right? So I'm like right now, this July 4th here in the States. In Canada, it's Canada Day was yesterday, right? So there's always a reason for changing your cover image. That's an easy thing to do in order to get more engagement. So right now, for everything that we've talked about, you're sort of at a crossroads. Because right, we've talked about your web presence, we've talked about social media, we've talked about reputation, we've talked about traffic sources. I've given you some tips on all of those things. And again, like I said, I'm not trying to sell you any services. I don't have any services to sell you. But one of the things that we did talk about, one of the things is you're at a crossroads whether you want to continue to depend on whoever's currently helping you do these things, or would you like to have a way to start to take control of some of these things yourself? I'm not necessarily saying do it, because most people don't have any more time to do the things, but how about being able to take control and know whether or not the things that are happening? Or how would you like to be able to very simply implement a brand site funnel like we talked about? And I know when you look at it, it can all seem very difficult at first. It's like stepping into a cockpit that's foreign, that is hard to do. Well, here's the, what am I looking at here? Yeah, I thought that there's something, hold on just a second. It's kind of, can you guys still hear me? Because something's showing up that it doesn't look like it's, looks like it's not operating correctly. Okay, thanks. All right, so let me get this back to where I'm at. There we go. So, cool. All right, so in looking at it, what we've done is, in order to be able to give you control, is we've created a special beta program to get your website converting more visitors. And what we do, we have a one-time special offer that we're opening up to help businesses like yours convert more customers. And the reason that I know this has never been offered any other place is because we've never provided the ability for people to have access to this except for agencies that provide business, that do this service for businesses. And what we've decided to do is to offer the ability for you guys to have access to it yourself as business owners. That's why I'm the one doing this. See, funnels cost thousands of dollars to create, but we're going to underwrite most of that cost in helping you create the brand site funnel. Does that sound fair? Right? So thank you. It's Thelen, Kia, and Doug's. Thank you for letting me know you can still hear me there. And so here's the thing. It's called the Profit Funnel Experts Mastermind. This isn't a done-for-you service. This is a mastermind. It's everything you need to create a dominating online presence. There's weekly training sessions to keep you on pace, and there's even training for your staff with certification opportunities. And the thing about a mastermind, it's different. It's not about, hey, it's just a training program. A mastermind is actually where like-minded business owners come together. You're not just going to have access to seven-figure business coaches. You're going to have access to other people in your industry that are doing things. And but you see the limitation that we have on this, you don't have to worry about being in competition with anyone else that's in the mastermind, or worrying about them taking your idea and it taking business away from you. Because see, Ford put out an article recently why the most important business move that you might make right now is joining a mastermind. Number one is accountability, getting the things done that you need to do. Regular connection, networks beyond your own to tap into. a trusted circle of colleagues to help you make decisions, a chance to learn from other business leaders, a confidential space to discuss challenges and problems, a laboratory to learn and experiment, and a reflection of your own wisdom and expertise to help others. The other thing is, you need to stay to the end, because when you get to the bottom line of this, whenever I share with you what it is to be able to be part of the mastermind, you're going to think that we're completely crazy with what we're doing. So you have all those things in place. Then we're going to give you access to our funnel building software. And remember, we talked about the brand site funnel. There are templates in there for the automotive industry that you basically could change out your logo, put your business name on it, and it would really basically be ready to go. That's why we're saying it's a $2,000 brand site funnel just for being part of the mastermind, because it's that simple. So the next part of it is, oh, wrong, sorry. We're going to give you access to our funnel builder, right? With our funnel builder, it gives you the complete control. Where am I going here? Complete control to do all this stuff yourself, or have someone on your staff do it. You have unlimited pages. You can build up to 3 different funnels in there. They're high converting funnel templates. It's a first ever drag and drop visual website builder. It's a drag and drop instant page builder. You can build websites, opt-ins, sales. Like I said, having it so that people are actually making a purchase before they come to your shop is a reality. You can put order pages in there. You can have integrations with iContact, MailChimp, or Zapier. Hey, if you don't have those, it's okay. You don't have to, because this system, when they opt in, will actually send them an email for you and send an email and a message to you to let you know that the information is there. So that in itself is about a $3,500 value just for having access to that funnel builder. But we're going to take it a step further with a bonus. We're going to do all the heavy lifting and detail work. We're going to take care of all the hosting, all the split testing, all the reporting, the SSL certificate, the virus protection, and the daily backups. So all of those pieces are going to already be taken care of. Then when we come back to it, we're going to look at building a lead, helping you build a lead generation funnel, one that's a simple one-step funnel. And like I said, when you look at it, your goal is just to get people to opt in. And then we're going to look at the differences and what those things might be. We're going to look at helping you develop a profit funnel, which is a very sophisticated web tool to get people to walk all the way through and actually make large purchases before they walk in the door. We're going to look at the different aspects of how to put those offers in place. We're going to look at the profit funnel framework. So here's how it works. We get them to opt in for a lead magnet, then we are going to immediately make an offer to them, a trust trigger offer. What could that be? Well, we're going to work with you to look at what are the services that you offer. And a lot of times people, like I said, I work with a lot of automotive clients, and it's always, you can do a low-end offer for an oil change, right? That's been there, done that. You look at anywhere, a lot of people do those things. But there's different aspects. We'll work with what is it about your business, what do you do that can be that trust trigger. It's got to be a low dollar value. We want to get them to pull their credit card out and do business with us. And then we take them to the order page. Then we take them to the core offer. A core offer is going to be whatever the main thing you want to offer them is, and then a profit bump. And what a profit bump is like having a VIP level of service, a concierge level of service. I tell people, back whenever I had an Infiniti, they would actually bring another car to my house and drop it off and take mine to do the oil change and detail the thing. I'm not saying you have to go to that level, but there is something that you can do from the profit bump level that's going to give you what we call mailbox money that people are paying for. Just like if you go to a car wash, right? It's $19.99 for the car wash, but if you pay $25, if you pay another $7, you can come back as many times as you want during the month. That's a profit bump. That's how those things work. So then we're going to look at lead magnet development, but we're not just going to say, oh, you should write a report. We're going to dig into showing you. We're going to give you access to this training that typically is about $1,000 just to have access to the training of walking through how to develop that offer that's going to get them to give you their information. Then we're going to go through the full implementation training for the funnel, because a profit funnel has 5 parts. You have the lead magnet, which is like the free report or the thing where they're just going to give you their email. Then you have the trust trigger that we talked about, your core offer. And when you look at this, we're going to go through examples in your industry of exactly what some of the things you can really pick from and choose from to put in place for your business. Then there's the profit bump, and finally the funnel stack. And then one of the most important things, especially when it comes to automotive, is what we call a re-offer campaign. The reoffer campaign is where you continue to put offers in front of them to bring them back more often. And the thing about that is you can do it with email, voicemail, SMS follow-ups to do all the work for you. Because one thing is we all know that we need to have things done, but whenever we're reminded, things done for our car, but when we're reminded about it or we see a special for it, there's a lot of missing profits for most auto service type businesses because of not having constant contact and communication with their existing customers. I don't care if you're a new car dealer with a service department, I used to, it doesn't matter. All of these things go into play. So when you look at it from the mastermind, we're going to look at funnels and automation. Then we're going to look at traffic. Then we're going to go through reputation and then social. All of these pieces go into play for making a complete marketing campaign for your business. You can't expect to just have one and have a balanced business. All of these things work in conjunction. That's why it sort of has the little atom there, because without one of these little neutrons, things are out of balance and they don't continue to work. And it's not about one, it's about how they all work together. So it's over 8 years and over $10 million have been invested to create this success ecosystem for your business. So again, here's how it works. It's Local Genius. It's not that. My goodness, I made a mistake here. Hold on a second. Not that either. Where am I at? I have to, hold on a second. It's, my computer is now locked up. This is really what you want to have happen. This is what you want to have happen every time you're about to tell somebody what an offer is. There we go. You want to have it so that the wrong information is there. That's what we want to do. I don't know why in the world that happened. So pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. If you want to see flawless execution, I didn't do it. I made a mistake and I'm going to fix it right now. Now, if you want to be part of the medical part of it, then you go to that one that was on there a minute ago. And now I can't even spell now. You got me so, amen. There we go. And it's going to look weird, but it's got to be how it is. So sorry about that, guys and gals. Let me see. I'm going to play from the current slide. Here we go. Now it's there. It's localgenius.com/profitmm. All right, so everything you need to create a dominating online presence. I'm going to put some dollar values on some of these things that we talked about, because these are the everyday prices that we get from people that are from agencies that are working with us for the lead gen funnels, for the lead magnet development, for the traffic training, the reputation marketing training, the social channel marketing. They pay these prices every day. Like I said, this is a beta program. We have never taken this out to business owners. We did some surveys, and this is what we were told that people wanted. They wanted to be able to take control, to be able to know that even if they didn't want to do it themselves, that what was happening or what the agencies that they were working with, that they were doing the right things, that they were doing the things that were going to give them the best benefit. And like I said, that's why we put this together the way it is. And because it is a beta program, it's very reasonable to get started. It's only $47 for the first month to give you ability to get in there, to look at it and test it out. And then it's just $297 a month after that. There is no minimum either. If you get in there the first month and you decide, you know what, this is great, but no thank you, then, or this isn't great, no thank you. I promise you it's not going to be that. We've never had anyone say it wasn't. But if you decide that it's just not for you, that's it. $47 the first month. Hey, I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. That's fine. And so that's why we have it set up that way. The other thing is, this is not the first, this is the offer. Like I said, the offer's been made before. Some of the information I shared before hasn't. So there's really only 7 spots right now that we have available for the mastermind. So it's localgenius.com/profitmm. I'm going to put that in the chat down here. So that's cheaper than a Google ad campaign. Yeah, because we want to make it so that you have the ability to do it yourself if you want to, or make sure that you have control of and know what people are doing. And I'm going to put this in. I'm going to tell you some other benefits to this thing as well. Localgenius.com/profit. Not that you couldn't spell it, but I just want to make it so you can click it so you don't have to type it in there if you don't want to. So in looking at it, I said, I've done this for a long time. The other thing that you have, I said you have access to 7-figure business coaches. There it goes. You have access to me. You have access to other of our team members. I'll give you an example. I had someone that sent me a link the day, it was last Friday. They sent me a link and said, hey, they're in our home service mastermind. They sent me a link and said, how did they do this on this Facebook campaign? Is this some kind of Ontraport or Infusionsoft trick? Ontraport and Infusionsoft are CRM tools, kind of like basically if you're in automotive, it's kind of like similar for automotive, like ALLDATA or one of those types of systems. And they want to know if that's what it was. And it's like, I went in and looked at it, it's like, no, they actually, everything that they did with that, it was a form fill. It was a Facebook lead form fill with everything that they did was inside of Facebook. And I was able to not only say, no, it's inside of Facebook, I shot a 5-minute video, walked him through exactly how you go through and utilize that and implement it on Facebook. Do you think he was happy? Yeah, I mean, this is somebody who had in the home service business, the home service repair area. He has a large HVAC plumbing company and he has over 40 trucks, but he's part of the mastermind because he doesn't want to do it himself, but he wants to know the things that are available. If you want to do these things yourself, that's great. You're going to have all the information you need. And again, with the brand site funnel, and I want to clarify, I'm not building the funnel for you. It's already built, basically. All you have to do is go in and change out the logo, change out the name, put your location in, and make sure that it fits. You put in your testimonials. And I said, literally in about 30 minutes, if you really wanted to completely customize it, you could do the whole thing in about 30 minutes. That's how simple it is to set up your first brand site funnel. The others get to be a little bit more complicated, but again, you don't have to do it all at first, right? You don't have to do it all at once. We're going to go through the brand site funnel first, and then we're going to expand into the other areas because without having that in place, it doesn't really matter or do that much for the business without having those things in place. So again, $47, right? So, okay, why $47? Because it puts it within reach of the vast majority of people. It's not too expensive, and even the humblest beginning business can afford $47 to try this thing out, right? And you get, like I said, you're getting all this value immediately. Also, anyone who's not serious enough about their business in 2019 to invest $47 to try this out isn't going to take the time to use the methods laid out in the system anyway. So, and anyone who is serious enough to put down the price basically of dinner for two and invest in the program, it basically has the opportunity to triple their business growth by implementing the things that are here. So there's a few questions that have come in. If you have any questions, put those in the box right now. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that you have. There are a couple of things. When does this start? We start every Monday. So yeah, today's Tuesday, but we're going to go ahead and give you access to the funnel builder and also the training for that as soon as you, and we're going to get a link so that you can go ahead and register for the trainings that we do. But we start them every Monday. And the other thing is there any other cost? No, the only other cost is, it kind of goes along with this other question about, do you need a separate domain for the brand site funnel? Yeah, but it's not anything we're going to sell you. You basically can go buy that from GoDaddy. Here's another writer downer. If you're buying a domain, don't go to Namecheap or any of those. Just get it from GoDaddy. They'll get on the phone with you. I have an automotive customer here locally that I deal with. Has got 2 locations. He bought a new location, and the person that he bought it from the wife of the person who owned the auto repair shop, because he passed away. When he passed away, no one had access to any of his passwords or any of his information. No one knew the password. I didn't need the website. I didn't even want the website. We just needed access to the domain name to get access to the DNS servers. And it took us over a year because it was through some third party 12th removed type of place that he saved $1 on the domain name. Just get it from GoDaddy. If you're setting up your emails, set it up through G Suite, because G Suite and GoDaddy connect. Even if you don't like them, the fact is they get on the phone with you. Both of them do. So do those things, right? Because it just makes it real simple. We could work with any domain host we want to and set up emails. It's what we do. Have teams that do all types of email stuff. And I worked for the largest digital marketing company in the world. Okay, I was a president of it. And we use GoDaddy for domains, and we use G Suite for our email. There's no reason to use anything else. It's set up for ease of use and deliverability. Does this work outside the US? Yes, it works anywhere that there's an internet. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's Australia or Canada or Great Britain or France. Everything's in English, so if you need it to be in a different language, you'll have to do that. But yeah, it works anywhere that there's an internet. Let's see. Are the trainings recorded? Yes, the trainings are recorded and they're placed into a portal after each session so that you can go through if you happen to miss it. Also, even if you're on there, so a lot of times there's things you're going to want to go back and review. So you continue to have access to the recording so that you can have those. If you have a staff member that you want to be able to see the recording, yes, you can have them, give them the login. It's okay. There's no secrets here. You got 4 people that you want to be in the training, you don't have to have 4 seats, one seat, and everyone can use it. If you want them to have their own login for the trainings, for the webinar, for the live webinars, then they can all have a login for that as well. You know, we're very liberal here. Like I said, I mean, it's $47 just to test it out. So, you know, we're not too strict or stringent on that whole thing. Again, you know, we're doing this because the surveys that we put out there, we were told that we were about different industries. Auto was one of them, medical services, home services, those 3 in particular came back with, yes, we would love to have information to be able to, the way we put it out there is, would you like to have services completely done for you, where you basically, you just write a check and they do the work for you? Would you rather do it all yourself, have access to training and do it all yourself, or would you rather do it with me? Be able to have access to systems and training to be able to do it, but also have someone that you could turn to ask questions of and have help when it came to implementation. That's the one that came back. Over 80% of the respondents said that that's what they wanted, to do it with me. And that's why we put it together in a mastermind, because it gives you the ability to have access to the tools, to have access to the experts, and also have access to other business owners like yourself on the things that they're doing, what they're putting in place. Because who knows, you know, why are there offers out there? You know, I'm going to show you how to go find offers, the offers that are working versus the ones that aren't converting. And that can be key. That can save that in itself. You know, how many trips in? I work with a lot of automotive repair places, a lot of automotive service industry places, and the average ticket item, it's like $250, right? So one ticket a month can take care of the whole thing for you. And I guarantee you, there's no way that you're not going to increase your leads and increase the conversions immensely greater than that. So again, you know, take a chance. $47. I've got to be the one to step up to the plate and make sure this is well worth your while. And if it's not, please cancel. Please opt out, because like I said, it's not going to happen. You're going to get in there, you're going to see the value of it, you're going to absolutely love it, and you're going to want to continue doing that. Right? Right Way says, I'm in. Cool. Good to see you on here, Right Way. Let's see, who else says that? There's another one there. It just disappeared. How did that happen? All right. Adams Automotive. There you go. All right. So with that, if you have any other questions, put those in. I'll be more than happy to answer anything that you have. Again, thank you for those who showed up on here. Got Arizona, Audrey's, Bozeman's, Doug's, Gus, JNS. Can't read this one. The kind of the screen so small. Got Sunshine, Taylor's. A new one just added, ArcLight. So again, I said, my name is Jody Underhill. It's localgenius.com/profitmm for Profit Mastermind or Profit Funnel Experts. You know, we put those in. Let's see, do I still own the rights to my website after it is all said and done? You own your website, yes. If you decide that you don't want to be part of the mastermind, but you want to continue to have the brand site funnel, then there's an option for you to just have access to the service. And then you can, there's ways, and we'll show you how you can pack that website up and move it. So yeah, don't worry about that part. If you no longer want it, it doesn't matter if it's built in our system or if it's built in someone else's system, it can be packed up and moved to a different type of service. The one of the things that we find most people like leaving it on ours because we handle all of the hosting and the SSL and all those pieces, and the ease of making changes is so dramatically easier than just about anywhere else. But any website can be packed up and moved. So that's not, if anybody's trying to hold a website ransom or you can't have it, you can pack it up. You can pack up just about anything. It can be basically recreated and put over onto any type of server. So yeah, those things can be done pretty easy. All right, well, we are at the bottom of the hour. We said it's going to be for basically an hour. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to be here, and hopefully you have a great rest of your week. And I'm going to look forward to seeing those of you who joined into the program. And we're going to, like I said, we'll get started on Monday, but you will, once you opt in, you'll get an email that has a link to sign up for the weekly webinar. And then once I get notified that that has happened, I'll be sending over your access to the funnel building tool, along with access to the training for going through and using it. But for going through and actually using it, it's very simple. Once you go in, you just log in, you set your business up, and you click this button that says add a funnel. And then you go through and follow the directions. It's pretty simple to do. All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you soon. Take care.